Hi, I'm Don Bruce. I'm Dean of the College of Arts. I've been here in this role since 2006, so this is my 8th year in this job. This, I guess, is a particularly significant year for both the College of Arts and the University because it's the 50th anniversary of the University, the founding University of Guelph, though not quite the 50th anniversary of the College of Arts. There's a little bit of a gap there. But it is an important milestone in the growth of the University. And it's certainly an important growth in the mark in the growth of the University because it's kind of a sign of from where we've been to where we're going. So I think it's a moment when a lot of people are taking stock of what has been done here at the University and what the possibilities are for the future. The College of Arts has changed quite a bit over the last years, at least the years that I've been here. Probably one of the most significant changes was that we renewed about 50% of the professoriate in the last 10 years. So that has a significant impact on the college, brings in a new generation of scholars, a different mix within the college itself of younger and older colleagues, and new experiences. So I think that's a really significant thing. And probably along with that, maybe one of the biggest changes that we've seen beyond that is also the change in post-secondary education, because we're going in new ways. And here we are in 2014, and we're starting to think about, well, what is the role of an arts degree, and what should an arts degree look like in the 21st century, and are the components that we've built in and are using still good for the new generation of students and the new factors which surround post-secondary education now. So I think one of the big challenges and one of the things we're facing right now, which is so significant, is where we'll be going in the future. That's a very significant point. There are a lot of signs of where we should be going. I think some of those signs are along the lines of, first of all, making sure that the things we do well, we continue to do. So here within an arts context, what are the key factors, let's say, and when you take a look at what constitutes an arts degree, well, people learn to read and write in depth. They learn to analyze. They learn to contextualize things historically. They learn to communicate in written and in oral fashion. They learn about human behavior in the past and the relationship between different human groups and how they interact. They learn about how we express ourselves and how we affirm our identity, both in words, in stories we tell ourselves, in pictures, and even in song and other means. So all of those things come together, in effect, to make what is perhaps what you might call an arts degree, a liberal arts experience. But at the same time, there are other things which have been coming into this even more strongly. And some of those elements are, for example, experiential learning. I think just about everyone would agree now that a component of what is an advanced education should be a strong experiential component. Not only what we learn in the classroom, not only what we do in the laboratory even, or the books we read, but how does that interface with the world outside, in the world of work, in the community, in government, and all those different areas. Another component, perhaps, which is really significant is the international component, because in fact, more than ever, we're interconnected. And so everywhere in the world, people somehow now are communicating, they're working together, they're trading, they're engaged in business and government, all sorts of things. So the more that we can provide for our students in terms of international experience, be it going to a place. For example, we send students to many places. In the recent years, we've really developed our connection to China. So we send a number of students to the East China Normal University in Shanghai, to Bremen in Germany, with whom we have a new relationship. And the students come back from that very enthused. For them, it's a life-changing experience. So what is the quality of life of individuals once they have gone through their education? Do they know how to approach and understand life, their identity, their relationship to others, the place of their own society, how they feel in their skin, many, many things from a historical perspective, but also from a cross-cultural, cross-racial, gender perspective at the same time. But along with that, I think the key factor that's missed in these sorts of critiques that are brought to liberal arts or to arts in general is that people fail to see that the arts are the glue. It's the glue that holds things together. As we know, in the sciences, in technology, in medicine, communications, and transportation, we've seen great advances over the last years. We've seen many, many things that have brought us a lot. But all of that lives within a human context. All of that lives, the environment, pollution, questions that are very controversial around abortion, all sorts of questions, all that lives within a human sphere. So on the one hand, we might often find the technical answers to many of our problems relatively quickly, but we know that the most elusive answers are the human, social, and cultural answers. So I've heard myself many times from my friends who are doctors, business people, engineers saying, well, you know, we really like having the humanities people working with us because they bring other perspectives. They bring in knowledge. They connect things in ways which we don't, because we learn to be electrical engineers, we learn to be doctors working in a particular area, but these other people bring in that glue that is necessary to bind together society and make it work. So when we come to talk about what a liberal arts education is, I think we have to look at all those factors, not only what it's going to bring you in terms of jobs, and there are lots of statistics that show us that arts graduates do very well. They might start up a little more slowly, but they generally do very, very well in their career, many of them moving into management positions, business, all sorts of other areas. Who speaks very happily about employing arts graduates? Google and Apple. Two of the greatest technology companies out there who have been very successful. So I think one has to go somewhat beyond that rather narrow career-oriented view and understand the role of the knowledge set and skills that the liberal arts bring to society as a whole. That a little diversity sometimes provokes insights and imagination and creativity in people. It also encourages people to work together. In the good times you can sort of work on your own, but in the bad times you have to pull together and see what the common goals are of the group. So I guess one of the good things that has really struck me in the time that I've been doing this job over the last years is some very good interactions which have risen amongst colleagues across disciplinary lines within the college, beyond the college, into other colleges, across the university, looking for ways to go forward, and that's been really great. I guess another very positive thing that I've experienced here has been that there's a great sense of community. That's probably one of the key discerning factors of the University of Guelph. If it's known for anything at all, it has a very strong sense of community, and within that, the scholarly, the scientific, the artistic projects are underway. Those things all happen within that framework.